Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait.
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Yeah, I didn't sign any mustard bottles or golf balls. Maybe wish I had had a golf ball that night, you know what I mean? But I'm only kidding. All right.
We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. We're from Tennessee. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. We're from Tennessee. The team makes two mistakes to win. Play for it, make breaks, one comes always score. If it hurts, the game breaks, no get you, don't let up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, slides, through the games after this win it in. First year game, we're here for the first made. Carry a lot of you never 60 minutes. To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
There out on the field, the pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beatsis is singing Fight Balls Fight. The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And you asked for me. It's X Factor.
It is Gabriel Isaac here in Fort Worth, Texas.
I never know what you're going to say. You could run down 42 names. Dude, it's Friday. It's the morning show. They demanded it. We bringing you two. This is the first time in the history of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Bringing you two morning shows, but it's Alabama week. It's Hate Bama week. It's Buck Fama. Man, what a freaking week for content. Man, it seemed like it didn't matter what you put out. People wanted more. People want to be talking about this game. It's electric. The fan, but this is, Xavier, this is what it's supposed to feel like as a Tennessee fan this week.
Yes, sir, it does. Yeah. I mean, this is a big moment, man. I mean, it's like I said, like going back to Hendon Hooker's, press conference, he said that this feels like a championship game, and it really does. This is a true test to see where we belong at, and I'm excited. I can't wait.
Somebody said in the chat or comments or somewhere, it was kind of like, man, I've been excited all week. I just can't wait for Saturday. And it's like, this is the way it used to be all the time. There used to not be highs and lows. It didn't kind of peak towards the end of the week and then go back to, and you're going into Alabama week, and typically it's, well, here we go again. We're going to get blown out. Tennessee, 21-point underdogs. Gabriel, it's different this year. Yes, they're still underdogs, but this fan base is going into this game, and that's where we're speaking is from a fan's perspective. I think the players may be a little bit different. They always expect to win. At least they should always expect to win. But it seems like it's been a minute since we as a fan base go into Alabama week, third Saturday in October, expecting to go compete.
It's very different because every week you used to feel that dread, right? That dread where even if you thought you were going to win a game, you didn't know. You didn't know what was going to happen. There wasn't a guarantee, even when you got into late November, that you were going to beat Missouri, you were going to beat South Carolina, you were going to beat Vanderbilt. There was no guarantee. I mean, obviously, there's technically still no guarantee, but when was the last time we felt this? I didn't feel this confident when Josh Dobbs, Alvin Kamara, Derek Barnett, etc. were in town. I didn't feel this confident then. Even when we beat Florida and Georgia, even when the SEC East was in our hands, I still didn't feel as confident as I do now in this Tennessee team. And I don't know why that would be. It's not I don't feel like it's that big of a culture difference, but when we see a team playing this good of football, handle 3 top 25 teams like we've seen, there's just something different about it. When the national media starts to wake up and say, hold on a second, this Tennessee team is legitimate. That's how you know there is legitimacy to it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Boogie. Take it back over. Let's run down the chat, see who's hanging out here early this morning. Another morning stream. We already got 234 people watching live, guys. Make sure you do smash the thumbs up, share out the link, let people know we're live. This is the first time we've ever done a Friday morning stream, but let's run down the chat, see who we got. Captain Woodland is in the house. What is up, Captain? Good to see you here. Philip Miller is in the house. Howdy, my Vol brothers and sisters from Chattanooga. Who is this here? We got, is that Jax, the ex? How am I supposed to pronounce that name? I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that, but he says go Big Orange. We got Chad Kirk dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Roger Gerald doing the same. Ardor Wolf in the house. Brad Burnett is here. Brian Allison is here. G. White's in the house. Maybe we'll get into an argument. It's funny how winning cures everything. G. White and I have argued about college football, about Tennessee football, probably more than anybody else in the country. That's why it always makes me laugh when people say that I banned them for disagreeing with me. I don't think G. White and I have ever agreed on anything, but yet, guess what? Here he is. He's still here. So if you got banned, that's on you. That's on you. Don't point the finger at me. Got a lot of super chats coming in. Let me run through these real quick, and then we're going to continue to talk about something Gabriel just mentioned there, talking about the national media, people kind of riding with Tennessee, and I want to get into that and talk about it. But let me run through these super chats real quick. Devin Wolfenbarger becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Who else? We got Boxman, also a new member. Thank you guys for joining the channel. Ryan Brock becomes a member. You guys get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun stuff. The more members that come in, the more content you guys get. So if you like these morning streams, if we get enough members on this channel and this becomes the full-time gig, then we're going to be doing all kinds of morning streams, probably 3-4 days a week, be on here doing morning streams with different people. So keep supporting, keep becoming members. You guys keep this channel going. We appreciate it. John Hill for 10. Thank you for Super Chat. Beat Bama. GBO. I feel like it's officially a Talkin VAWLS stream now because John Hill has dropped the Super Chat to get the show rolling. Stevie J for $20. Thank you for the Super Chat. Great to be a Tennessee Vol. Love it, Stevie J. Appreciate the support, my man. Ryan Brock for 5. Vols 31. Bama 24. I like it. Rob Lewis over at VolQuest.com, I was reading they always do they kind of do a matchup, and Rob Lewis kind of breaks down all the position-by-position matchups and who has the edge, who's got the advantage. Then he gives his score prediction. Then on Friday, they all give him his score prediction, man. I think it was spot on. He said Tennessee 38, Alabama 35. I don't know where he got that number. Kevin Smith for 5. Thank you for Super Chat. Little over 24 hours until showtime. 24 hours. Let me just stay caught up here. We still got a couple more Super Chats coming in. I want to hit them all. Hayden Castile for 5. Thank you for the Super Chat. Doesn't say anything, just a tip in the tip jar. Jay says, for 10, you can just call me Jay. That's way easier. Be way easier. But will I remember that? I highly, highly doubt it. But thank you for the Super Chat.
One letter.
Yeah, just one letter.
So when I see all those other letters, I just say Jay. I think I can do that. Appreciate the Super Chat. Thank you guys being very generous early. Look, we're planning to go live for about an hour, but we'll see. We'll let you guys drive the show. If you guys want this thing rolling, you know what to do. We will stay live all morning. Look, maybe we'll stay live until kickoff. Maybe we'll just stay live for over 24 hours. Just keep rocking and rolling. All right, let's talk about this thing. Let's talk about, Gabe, you brought up something with the national media. And look, the stage is set. And I know we've said that multiple times, but it's the truth. It's the truth. It was for Florida. Then we move on. You go beat LSU, and now here you are. Alabama comes to town. College game day, the fact that they're returning, and a lot of people are pissed about that. But that just shows you how big this game is. College game day coming back, SEC Nation coming back, all the hype, national media. And sometimes I question, are they putting this out there for clicks? And I question that in the preseason when you've got people saying Tennessee's going to go 10-2 or 11-1 or Tennessee's going to beat either Alabama or Georgia. But you've got Paul Feinbaum this week. Stephen A. Smith says he's never in the last, I think he said like 5 years, felt like Alabama was going to lose a game. He said every time going into the game, Stephen A. Smith felt like Alabama was going to win until this week. Josh Pate picking Tennessee. Urban Meyer picking Tennessee. Everybody is rolling with Josh Heupel in this Tennessee football team. Gabe, is Tennessee, are they ready for this moment? A lot of people, every time I get hype and start building up this team, people use the words rat poison. Nick Saban and Alabama, they thrive on moments like this where they get to come in and put the dagger in your heart and put you to bed. Is Tennessee ready for this moment?
I don't think there is another team that is as ready as Tennessee for this moment. I really don't. I mean, we've seen the way they prepare, the way that the maturity inside of that locker room, the leaders they have. This may not always be the case for Josh Heupel's Tennessee teams. It definitely is with this one. All the noise. I mean, we saw it with the Florida game, and Josh Heupel's way of going about it, I think, is incredible. Saying, you're not gonna not hear the noise. You're gonna hear the noise. It's about what you do with that noise. It's about how you let that motivate you. Do you let it get in your head, or do you let it drive you to focus and prepare? So I think we see that type of maturity in this team. I think Tennessee is very ready for the moment. I don't think, I know Tennessee fans hate when it gets this way because they don't want the media to jinx them, but the media is only saying the things they're saying because they legitimately believe in this Tennessee team. They're not just saying it to say it necessarily. I legitimately think that Josh Pate thinks Tennessee's going to beat Alabama. Urban Meyer thinks Tennessee's going to beat Alabama. Everyone on First Take thinks Tennessee's going to beat Alabama. It's that way for a reason. And that doesn't mean Alabama's going to lose, of course, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because all that means is people see Tennessee. People see Tennessee the way they are, how good they have been at preparing. I think Tennessee's absolutely ready for this moment.
And to add on to what you said too, Gabe, it even goes back to what Hendon Hooker said. He said that normally during the regular season, he stays off of social media and everything. He doesn't let the outside noise get to him. But he said this year was very, very different for him. He said that, he kind of keeps his eyes and ears close to the media, and he's hearing what everybody's saying on the outside. And he said it, it's that confidence. It's that confidence that what you just said. And it even bleeds over into the locker room. He even said that we as Tennessee fans, like he said, we as a fan base feel like we're the number one team in the nation. So yeah, just having that confidence just to go out and just to prove the world that, look, we're back and we belong where we belong.
Confidence starts with the head man. And, you make comparisons of Josh Heupel to Jeremy Pruitt, Josh Heupel to Butch Jones. Josh Heupel is so comfortable in his skin, man. He is so confident. And they were talking about it on the VolQuest podcast earlier in the week that Brent Hubbs said something along the lines of, if there's anybody that he trusts and believes in this entire program, it's Josh Heupel. And who more needs to be confident than Josh Heupel? He's not going to show up. Butch Jones coached his entire career scared to death. Absolutely terrified. And that's the way some of our fan base is. Some of our fan base is so terrified. Like, this week has been so much fun. It's been so much fun to get on here and hype it up and talk about Tennessee going and being able to compete. And look, Tennessee may show up on Saturday and they may lose by 3 touchdowns. And guess what? We'll come on here and we'll talk about it. We'll break it down and we'll get ready for the next one. But sometimes you're so uptight and you're so, we got to be careful. We got to be, no. Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the fact that the national media is talking about Tennessee. Enjoy the fact that Hendon Hooker is a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. What better game? I said earlier in the year, You don't get remembered for going on the road and beating Pitt. You get remembered for beating Florida. You get remembered for beating Alabama. If Hendon Hooker goes out and has a day on Saturday and Tennessee beats Alabama, Hendon Hooker immediately becomes the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. Immediately after that Alabama game. That's where you win the Heisman Trophy.
100%.
Let me hit some super chats here. Drew Brown for 10. Thank you for super chat. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. We are from Tennessee. Love it, Drew. Thank you for the super chat. Set the 4 for 5 Friday morning live with Talkin VAWLS. It just feels right. Yeah, let's keep these going. Let's just go live every morning. Tucker White, 94 for 5. FYI, if scratch that win, Tennessee wins Saturday, it stands an excellent shot of going undefeated at Neyland for the first time since 2007. If Tennessee wins on Saturday, every other game on the schedule is thrown out the window. We're going to be talking about Georgia from now until that Georgia game arrives. We're not talking about anybody else. We're not talking about Tennessee Martin. We're not even talking about Kentucky. That Kentucky game, us as fans, we're going to chalk it up as an immediate win. We're moving on if Tennessee wins on Saturday. Robert Tuck for 2. Media can't wait for us to lose to discredit us.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think here's what I think happens if Tennessee loses to Alabama. Everyone in the media has been confident about it. If Tennessee loses to Alabama, here's what the media is going to say. This Tennessee team, they showed us what they can do. I think they're winning the SEC East. I'm telling you, they're going to start even if Tennessee loses to Alabama, they're going to start predicting Tennessee to win the SEC East, because even Alabama, who has won multiple national championships over the past 5 years, they always slip up somewhere. If you slip up to a number 3 Alabama team and you still show you have some fight in you, that national media may start loving you even more. Because now you are that one-loss team that's sort of a dark horse now in the SEC, where you showed you could compete with the best. Now can you actually go out and do it? Sort of like Ole Miss or something like that.
You said a key word, though. They have to go out and compete.
Right.
If they go out and compete against Alabama, that will be the narrative moving forward, I think. You're probably right. But look, the media loves it when Tennessee is relevant because we're a bunch of psychopaths. We click on anything that says anything remotely about this Tennessee Volunteer football team. We click on it. We read it. We watch it because we're nuts. We're a crazy fan base. But if Tennessee goes out and competes and loses, do you think, Xavier, that Alabama is ripe for the picking right now because they had a scare against Texas, but they got the win? They had a scare against Texas A&M, but they got the win. The only thing that scares me is that everybody's talking up Tennessee, and I think that's good. Alabama's going to come in full of piss and vinegar because of that. But otherwise, I think it just feels like now is the time for the upset. It feels like the time is right.
Yeah, what you said too. Listen, Alabama, we know who Alabama is. We know who Nick Saban is, and like I said, respectfully, he's one of the greatest college coaches I've ever seen. But this year, yeah, it just feels different. This is not the same Alabama team that we've seen for the past 3, 4, 5 years. It's just, and we even talked about it back in recruiting, with NIL coming into play, and Alabama is so far behind that, Nick Saban doesn't even like it. He keeps complaining and he lies to saying that, no, I wasn't cheating and this is and that. But look, the time is now for not just Tennessee, but for other teams that have NIL programs to compete with Alabama. So, yeah, I just feel like this year is just different. I feel like that we really are going to pull an upset with Bama.
Is this Dauber? Because I didn't type that in the chat. I wonder if Dauber thought he was on his personal account and he's on the Talkin VAWLS account. It's either Dauber or JP, because it's not me, and I think we're the only 3 that have access to the account.
That is hilarious.
I'm assuming
funny.
it's Dauber. Yeah, it has to be either that or because it's from Facebook. If it was a YouTube account, anybody could do that. Let me hit these couple real quick. Whiskey Charlie becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Whiskey Charlie. You got access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. By the way, there's the brand new custom Talkin VAWLS emoji for Gabriel. Put that in the chat. Show him what he's won. Tom Roddy also becomes a member of the channel. Thank you guys for the support. An orange Celian for 5. AP saying Bryce hasn't practiced when the media and the Bammers are insisting he has is one of the most interesting developments this week to me. I've not seen that AP said that.
I haven't seen it.
Nick Saban hasn't. I mean, Nick Saban said he's practiced, but just on a pitch count. So he has practiced. He clearly hasn't practiced at 100%. So
Yeah,
I don't think he goes. I don't think he plays on Saturday.
I saw somebody talking about, maybe it was on the VolQuest message board. Clearly, it looks like that is Dauber. He's doing the face bomb. I saw people talking about it on the VolQuest message board, saying that last week they were selling that Bryce Young was practicing, but he wasn't throwing. And it's like, well, are you going to go out and play a game as quarterback without? I don't think he plays. I just don't see it. I think we're either getting a 60% Bryce Young, or he doesn't play at all. Do you guys think there? Go ahead, Gabe.
Well, here's the thing about it. It's not gonna be a football decision. It's gonna be a business decision. Bryce Young has a lot of money to make. He is going to the NFL. He as an athlete, Bryce Young probably wants to play, but as a coach, Nick Saban knows what his kid is set up for. Is Nick Saban as the coach, and I'm sure Bryce Young has an agent already. I mean, obviously he does for NIL. I'm sure he does for NFL as well. You know, as though do those guys look at Bryce and say, "Look, man, you just can't. This is your throwing shoulder. If you take a hit, you could be done. You could be done." So I think it's a business decision. People have been talking about, do they put a Bryce Young at 75% in? I don't think they do. I don't think they do, because if he gets hurt, he could be done. He could be done forever, literally. I mean, that's what we're looking at, a serious injury in his throwing shoulder that ends his career. I just don't think you can make the decision to put him in just to win a game you might lose anyway. You know, I just don't think that that's a good decision for them. So I don't think Bryce Young plays personally.
Well, and it goes back to what Dauber said too, you know, the other night. It honestly comes down to his father, you know, and, you know, it's up to Nick Saban too, because what does this say about Nick Saban in the Alabama? You know, does it show desperation that, like, hey, you're going to put in your injured quarterback to try to win this game?
Right.
And, you know, and I don't know, maybe they might have a 80 or 50% Bryce Young than you know, saying Bryce Young.
And if Bryce Young is 100%, then sure, put him in. Bryce Young's not 100%. He couldn't throw a football overhanded a week ago. That doesn't just fix itself. I know those shoulder injuries can sometimes, you know, it's easy to work out your shoulder, you know, that they can sometimes heal fairly quickly. He's not going to be 100%. I just don't, you know, I don't know Nick Saban's decision process, but I know his integrity as a coach. He's not going to put his player out there, even if his player wants to play. He's not going to put his player out there out of desperation to win a game if it means that player may never play football again. So
it seems we're in agreement that Bryce Young doesn't play. I don't think he plays. I think we're all in agreement on that. How much does Alabama's offensive production drop off? And do you guys put any there's some rumors out there that Ty Simpson could possibly be thrown out there on Saturday, because when you look at, you know, what Jalen Milroe does, obviously he's electric with his feet. I mean, when he gets out in the open field, he does not look like a quarterback. He looks unlike any quarterback I've ever seen running the football. He looks like a running back. He looks like a playmaker, not a quarterback. He's turned the ball over twice. 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's his ratio. The QB rating drops dramatically off from Bryce Young to Jalen Milroe. Bryce Young, 172.5. Jalen Milroe, 135.9. You're talking about a Heisman Trophy winner, and now you're dropping off to Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson. Are they ready for that environment? I just feel like Alabama's game plan coming in without Bryce Young is going to be to run the football. And what does Tennessee's defense do? Almost as good as anybody in the country. Stop the run.
Stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Can Tennessee stop the run of Alabama? Can they stop the run of Jahmyr Gibbs? He is as dynamic as they come. I think he is the best running back in the country. Can Tennessee's defense get it done? because I don't think Bryce Young plays, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. What does Nick Saban do? Does he go conservative, run the football, and try to eat up this clock?
Well, first of all, can you hear that? Can you hear that leaf blower outside? Are we good?
I could hear it, but you're good.
Okay.
We're not
All right.
professional around here, Gabe.
Well, I just hate it. I just hate it. It's like, of course, they come like once a week, and now they're right outside my window. Of course.
Yeah, we were on vacation at the beach, and I was sitting down to record a video, and as soon as I sit down, I'm like 8 minutes into the video, same thing, leaf blower right in front of the door. I'm like, seriously?
But back to the point. I think it would be stupid to play Ty Simpson. Has he played at all yet?
Mop up duty. He's thrown 3 passes. That's it.
Ty Simpson. That would be a mistake. It just would. If Bryce Young doesn't play, they're sticking with Jalen Milroe. I mean, because a guy that has a full game and a half under his belt to kind of look at his film and see what's up and maybe fix some of those issues, even going into Neyland Stadium, is 10 times more valuable than the ball hungry young guy who has never played in an environment like this, and you're just going to throw out there against one of the best teams in the country. I think it would be dumb to play Ty Simpson. I know there was all the drama of Ty Simpson liking the tweets about how he should go out instead of Jalen Milroe. I don't care, man. Ty Simpson can go suck on an egg. They should put him out. They should put him out, because if they put him out there, he's getting swallowed. He is getting destroyed. Especially as soon as that kid takes a hit, bro, he's not going to be able to throw the ball. He's just not. But
do you think Jalen Milroe's ready for that environment? I mean, that's the thing. They're both young guys. Yeah, Ty Simpson's a true freshman. What's Milroe? Redshirt freshman?
Jalen Milroe, no. None of them are, but that's the thing, is you'd rather have Milroe. You'd rather have a guy who has played it all in the past week and a half and has stuff you can maybe work on and fix, even in a tough environment, than the kid who hasn't played it all. So Jalen Milroe, if he throws, he can throw 5 touchdowns, in my opinion, and turn it over 2 or 3 times, and Tennessee wins the ball game. Because if Alabama hands the ball over to Tennessee, I mean, the only reason Texas A&M was close is because Alabama kept handing them the football close to the end zone. LSU did that a couple times to Tennessee, and you saw what happened. So if Alabama hands the ball like that to Tennessee, it's over. I don't expect Jalen Milroe to really throw for 5 touchdowns, or not throw, but score 5 touchdowns. I mean, I trust this Tennessee run defense to. You don't have to completely stop Jahmyr Gibbs and Jalen Milroe from running the ball. You don't have to completely stop them. Just keep them. Just don't give up the big plays and keep them out of the end zone. Make Jalen Milroe throw a ball into the end zone. Make him take those shots. Make him risk those turnovers. Put our offense back on the field, because our offense is going to be able to score on Alabama. They just are.
And keep in mind too, guys, the biggest thing with our defense that we always talk about it this season is 3rd down. You have to get Alabama off the field, because like I said, Nick Saban's going to be aggressive. He's not going to coach scared. I mean, yeah, he's going to go conservative with running the ball, but we all know, like, when it's like a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3 situation, he's going to go for it. He's going to coach aggressive. And Tennessee just got to do a better job of getting Bama off the field. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Gabe. Like I said, just hold them to a field goal. If you don't just tighten up that cushion, even if Milroe somehow manages to have a big yardage game somehow, some way, because of the secondary, just tighten up that cushion, and just be aggressive.
Okay, but let's talk about if Bryce Young plays, because there's a lot of people, including in this chat, that think Bryce Young plays. Bryce Young if Bryce Young is at 80%, he could throw a football, right? He can throw a football. He's gonna be dangerous even if he comes in at 80%. The point is, Alabama's offensive line is not that good. It is not the Alabama offensive line we've seen over the years. They're good. They're good. They're better than most teams, because it's Alabama, but they are not against our defensive front. Our defensive front is favorable in that matchup against Alabama's offensive line. Guys, it's not about if Bryce Young can play. It's not about if he can play. It's the decision of whether he does or not. It's the business decision because it's not Bryce's. It shouldn't be Bryce's decision at the end of the day, because as an athlete, he's going to want to go in. Right. If he is 80%, if he is 70%, if he is 60%, he's going to want to go in that ball game. He knows how big this is.
I think if Bryce Young plays, it's a 14-point swing in Alabama's favor. I think Bryce Young is worth 2 touchdowns. I think the reason, and Josh Pate said this, and I was like, that makes perfect sense. Sometimes we as fans, and again, this is coming straight from Josh Pate, we as fans see the line, and we see Alabama favored by 7, and we start saying, oh, Vegas knows. Vegas always knows, right? I say those exact words all the time. He's basically saying, us as fans are going, hey, that means Bryce Young's not playing. If Alabama's, and I said that, I was like, dang, that line's awful low. I thought it would be a little bit higher than 7 points at this point. Bryce Young's clearly not playing if it's that low. He said, I disagree. What that tells me is Vegas has no idea. He said if Milroe is starting, that line should be more like Alabama favored by 3. If Bryce Young's playing, that line should be more like 14. That's the difference. That's how many points you're saying. So what Vegas is doing is going, we have no freaking idea if Bryce Young's playing or not, so we're going to put the line somewhere in the middle and hope for the best with the way this thing plays out. But Bryce Young, you bring up an interesting point, Gabe, talking about Alabama's offensive line. And when we say they're not good compared to previous Alabama offensive lines.
Alabama offensive line history.
I've done this long enough, Gabe, that you're going to get crucified in the comments.
As high as the bar gets is Alabama's offensive line in the past.
Yeah, I knew what the comment section was going to be. I knew what you were saying, but so we want to reiterate that. That's what Gabe's saying. But when you look statistically on the year, Alabama's given up 9 sacks. If you're just sitting back looking at it, you're going to say, well, Alabama's offensive line's better than Tennessee's. They've given up 1 more sack. Tennessee's only given up 8 sacks. Alabama's given up 9 sacks on the year. So I think Tennessee, if you go out there and you play an injured Bryce Young, I think the game plan has got to be similar to that Pitt game. Get after the quarterback, hit him early, hit him often, and just put him out of the game.
But that's the thing too. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's the thing too is Keaton Slovis came into that game healthy.
Yeah.
He came into that game healthy. He was 100% healthy and still got knocked out. Listen, Bryce Young will want to play. They will have the choice to put him in the game, I guarantee you. It's not about whether he can go out there. It is a decision for his future, literally his future of football. I think no matter how, if they have to have a guy on the sideline to literally physically hold him back from going into that game, I think they do, because I really don't think they are going to risk his health like that. I just don't. And if they do, I don't know if I agree with that. And if Bryce Young is 100%, that's fine. I just don't think he is.
All right, we gotta get caught up on Super Chats. I told you guys before we went live, I was like, I don't know, hour. We're 30 minutes in, and we've covered one topic on the agenda. We're going to be live all morning long. I'm telling you right now. We got Josh Heupel's press conference queued up. Gabe, let everybody know on Twitter. He's got something to say, and he's going to say it here in just a few moments. Yep. But again, 450 people watching live right now. Thank you guys for choosing us. Just 3 regular dudes, 3 fans that all met because of this platform. I've never met it. Well, I have met Xavier in real life. I've never met Gabriel in real life. Look, for the fans, by the fans means that we are just regular fans. If it pisses you off because we're not experts or insiders, go find another channel. That's not what this is. This is hanging out with your buddies, talking Tennessee football. Appreciate you guys choosing us, but do us a favor and hit that thumbs up and share this thing out. Let's see. I think the record for a morning show, Gabe, what did we hit Monday? Like 550, something like that?
Yeah. At one time, it was. I think that's about where it was.
Let's get this thing over 600. Let's break a friggin' record for the Talkin VAWLS morning stream. So hit that share button, put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, go hit retweet, let somebody know we're live. Let's get this thing over 600 people on a Friday morning talking Tennessee football. Let me run through the Super Chats, get us caught up real quick. Orange Cillian for 5. AP saying Bryce, I already read that one. Let me unstar that one. Robert Tuck for 5. Thank you for Super Chat. I agree. Bama is right for the picking. Lots of media really thinks we win, as do I. A large segment of media that has never liked us. That's always just a question as I watch all this stuff is, do they truly believe or are they trying to get clicks and views because of our fan base? Pecan for 10, be a blowout game regardless of who wins. It's us 41-27. If it's Bama, 51-24. If we lose, it's penalties, turnovers, and dirty calls. Did you see Saban interview with, I think, Marty Smith? I did not see that, but I made a video, I think, yesterday talking about Jeremy Pruitt. And Jeremy Pruitt, when you're talking, when they ask you, what is this game going to come down to, and you mention officiating, you know who's got that Bama bias. And these Alabama fans can come in here and they can tell me, oh, you're crying, you're making excuses. It's reality. It is reality.
Jeremy Pruitt coached at both Tennessee and
Exactly.
Alabama. So if there's
Right.
anybody who's going to come out and say that officials are going to have a place in this game, Jeremy Pruitt, like him or not, you got to believe him in that.
A dude
Well,
that's been,
and-
like you said, been on both sides of the rivalry.
Well, an example of this too is that go back and look at the Texas game. Texas should have won that game.
Yep.
So
And that's what the pass interference stuff, that's what Pruitt was talking about. He said, are they going to call pass interference or are they going to let these DBs play? And by let these DBs play, we've seen it. We have seen it. We have seen the way that Alabama coaches defensive backs. They're constantly grabbing jerseys, pulling shoulders, constant. It's whether or not the officials call it.
And that's my fear with our secondary as well, because I do not trust our secondary to play clean if they need to. You know, a pass interference is better than a touchdown on a deep shot, but I mean, if Bryce Young does play, that is a legitimate concern for me, is, you know, our secondary getting penalized, because if they can't keep up with those wide receivers, they're going to be grabbing, you know, they're going to be doing anything they can to keep up with them. And if the referees want to play games, man, that's going to be extremely frustrating tomorrow to watch that go down that way. So that is one of my main concerns for the secondary.
Let me address this real quick. Sean Bright says, where is everybody getting that orange tea? I need that in my life. Well, it's easy. You become a member of this channel. If you like what we do, hit that join button down below. It's right beside subscribe, unless you have an Apple product, because Apple sucks. And then you have to go to the description of the video. There's a link. You want to become a member of this channel. Becoming a member, all that means is you are financially supporting what we do. It's as little as 99 cents a month or as much as $10 a month. Just like Steven here. Steven Hyder becomes a member of the channel. Now he's got that Power T beside his name. And when you guys leave comments in the live chat, like Ardor Wolf right here, I see it, I highlight it, try to get as many member chats on the screen as possible, but you also get that Power T beside your name. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. All the members in the channel, drop those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Show them what they can get. Put them in the chat. But like I said, it's as little as 99 cents a month or as much as $10 a month if you want to join the fan call-in shows. We do those before the games on Saturday, also every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So, yeah, we would appreciate that support. Let's get as many members as we can in here. Let's get this thing rolling. Zach Ferris says we got 514 watching. Keep sharing, guys. Let's get that number over 600. We would love to see it. Going to jam through some more Super Chats. You guys being very generous today. We appreciate it. Zach C, 83 for 5. I know battered Vol syndrome as much as anyone. But the bottom line is this Tennessee team is the real deal. Big-time team wins. Big-time team win. Big-time teams win big-time games. Easy for me to say. You know, that's the point, Zach, when people want to say, oh, well, this team's not good or that team's not good. It doesn't matter. Tennessee has taken care of business, going on the road and beating Pitt, going on the road and beating LSU, getting the monkey off their back against Florida. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says or how it plays out. It's like the Georgia deal. People saying Georgia's overrated. No, good teams find ways to win. Trey J for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Screw it. Put Simpson in and let him get that Tennessee experience. Yeah, I'd like it. Let's get Ty Simpson out there and see what happens. Stevie J for 10. Turnovers are going to play a huge part in this game. Alabama's been a turnover machine this year. If they hand us 70 yards in turnovers, we've got this in the bag. Go Vols. That's one of my biggest keys to the game, is if Alabama turns the football over, I think Tennessee can run away with this game on Saturday. DWB633 Barn for 5 moments in our favor. We go out and play the way we did last week. No shot, we don't win. GBO Buck Fama. Love it, man. Thank you for the super chat. Bro Regard for 2 says go. What does that F mean, Xavier? I think it means go family of Vols. That's what it means. Go family of Vols. Thank you, Bro Regard, for the $2. David Sims for 2. Y'all better than SEC this morning. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. For the fans, by the fans.
Thank you.
We're not professional around here, but we do have a good time. Michael for $20. That ain't cheap, Michael. We appreciate it, buddy. Says Rocky Top. I love it, man. Very generous super chat. Thank you for that. Kaylin is in the house for $5. We're taking our daughter to her first college game day tomorrow. She will be 1 on Monday. Need a big win for her birthday. Well, happy birthday to her. Make sure you take a big Talkin VAWLS sign to game day. Somebody said there was one there last time. Thank you, Kaylin, for the super chat. Somebody said there was one there last time, but I never saw it. And people were saying that if you see it on game day, take a picture, a screen capture, something, and send it to us. We want to see it. We would appreciate it. All right, 500 people still watching live. Thank you guys for choosing us. That's all the super chats. We are caught up. Thank you to all the new members of the channel. Smash that thumbs up, and let's keep this train rolling. Who knows? We may pull off 3 hours. We may be live all morning. Gabe's got something he wants to address. And it was announced yesterday, this right here, I'll put it on the screen, Peyton Manning, College Game Day's Week 7 guest picker. And, of course, I had some fun with it. Everybody talks about the Peyton Manning curse. So I quote retweeted it from the Talkin VAWLS account, and all I said was, oh, no, we suck again. So many people upset by this. Gabe, the floor is yours. I know you got something you want to get off your chest.
Well, listen, I'm not going to go around here name calling, all right? But if you're somebody who legitimately believes that Peyton Manning has anything to do with the success of our Tennessee football team, I know there are some of you. I know there are. You can't say you haven't thought it. I know there are some of you out there that are thinking Peyton Manning being at football games actually has something to do with the success of our team. You're not a very smart person, okay? I could say a lot worse than that right now. I'm not going to, though, because at the end of the day, we're all Tennessee fans. We all want them to win. But you are not very smart if you think Peyton Manning, the Smoky Grays, or Checker Nealon has anything to do with Tennessee winning the game. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why Tennessee loses some of the games that Checker Nealon, Smoky Grays, or Peyton Manning is at?
Most of the games, Gabe. Most of the games.
Most of the games. Do you want to know why? There's two reasons. Two reasons. One, that only happens when Tennessee is playing a big game. Peyton Manning's not going to come watch Tennessee play UT Martin, okay? He's not going to watch Tennessee play Chattanooga. He's not going to watch Tennessee play those crappy games, okay? He's going to come for the Floridas and the Alabamas, okay? That's what he's going to come for. Just like the Checker Nealon and Smoky Grays. We only do those things in big games. We're not checkering Nealon for UT Martin. We're not wearing Smoky Grays for UT Martin. All right? Peyton Manning has nothing to do with this team. It's disrespectful, okay? It's disrespectful. Peyton Manning is the all-time Tennessee football player, okay? He is our greatest ambassador. He is stuck with us. He's not like Paul Feinbaum, who's a fake UT alum that just goes around trashing Tennessee all the time. Peyton Manning has always been a Tennessee fan. He's always been by our side, even when – I didn't even go into my second reason. I didn't even go into my second reason.
Preach, brother, preach.
Second reason, Tennessee has sucked for 20 years, okay? Or 15 years, okay? Let's not get technical here. 15 years, Tennessee has sucked, all right? Even in 2015, 2016, when Tennessee should have been a better team, they ended up sucking, okay? It's not Peyton Manning's fault. Blame Butch Jones. Blame Cornbread. Blame Lane Kiffin. Blame Derek Dooley. Blame those guys, all right? Listen, I've hated the Peyton curse since I was first heard of it, whenever that was, when I was a wee child. Stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm not saying you're stupid if you believe it. You're not very
This guy
smart.
doesn't understand because he says he's going back to the sports animal. Have fun listening to commercials, Rob. They were interviewing a car wash yesterday. That's what they were talking about is car washes, the NBA, and a lot of commercials. But, Rob, I don't think you understand what Gabe is saying is it makes no sense. And I agree. You're spot on. Everything you said is the freaking truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's Peyton Manning's not coming to town to watch Tennessee beat UT Martin. He's not coming to watch them play ETSU. He goes to the big moments. That's why he was at the Notre Dame series for the baseball team, because that's a big moment. He's always there for the big moments, just like Checker Neyland. Just like you don't Checker Neyland because you're going to play Akron. That's not what you do. So yeah, that just sums it up, man. And I think most people, I just kind of laugh about it and have fun with it. Anytime I see Peyton, I'm going to make a joke because, it's just is what it is. And some people can't see the forest for the trees. They don't understand what you're saying. It's just the truth. It's the reality of the situation. The Peyton Manning curse has nothing to do with Peyton Manning. It has to do with piss poor football coaching and big-time matchups.
Well, we joke about it, right? We joke about it. Oh, Peyton Manning's back in town. But there is actually something psychological that happens to some people when stuff like that happens. There are legitimately people that would go to that game on Saturday. I legitimately got scared when they announced that Peyton Manning was going to be College Game Now. I'm like, please don't let people show up and start booing Peyton Manning. Please don't when Peyton Manning walks up to the stage to make his pick, please don't let people like boo him or something. Because I swear that's the kind of stuff we've seen from our fan base. People legitimately buying into superstitions that hard that it would allow them to do something like that, or take them out of the game, take them out of the intensity of the moment and how big of a moment, because, oh, Lord, Peyton Manning's in town, so we might as well not even expect to win.
Yeah, so, Peyton Manning is a Tennessee legend. He's a Tennessee ambassador. He cares more about this program than anybody on this panel, anybody in this chat. That dude is the definition of VFL. Actually, somebody started the show asking if I had seen this. Let's hope this doesn't get us demonetized. Let's share it. I'm going to leave the window kind of small so we can listen to what Peyton Manning has to say and hopefully not get demonetized. So let's take a listen. When Peyton Manning was asked about a play in history, the opening play.
Well, since you brought up 1995,
of course.
I knew you were going to go to 95. I mean, it was so obvious. I just might as well put it on a platter for you.
I'm blaming you for bringing it up. I mean, I'm sure everybody, listening to this has great interest in the 1995 Tennessee-Alabama game. Hey, let me tell you what it was like when I played, right? I don't want to be that guy, but you brought it up.
They did have face masks, though, back then, right?
Exactly. I mean, we were not in HD.
I just realized. Gabe, what year were you born in?
2002.
I was born in 95, baby. Represent.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. This is the guy that I grew up watching in high school, telling a story about when I was in high school and Gabe wasn't even alive yet. Xavier was just born, little baby Xavier. Maybe Xavier was in his crib looking over and sees this play that Peyton's about to talk about. Let's hear more.
Watching the games, Ron Franklin.
That was understood, but it was on TV, not radio, right?
Ron Franklin, Mike Godfrey calling the games, classic Saturday night action. But anyway, the play that people ask me about a lot that, sort of remember those days is the first play of the game. We were playing in Birmingham at Legion Field. And, Greg, all you want to do on the road, your first play, let's just come out and let's get a completion. Let's quiet everybody down, a little 5-yard hitch.
Let's get it started.
Let's just kind of get on our way. So, the formation was flip left condor, and the play was called 661 Bass. Now, Bass.
Let him explain that here in just a second. I'm going to pause it so we can provide some commentary over this video because that is the Fair Use Act. We can talk about videos. We can watch them because it is fair use as long as we pause to provide commentary. And in fact, let me do this real quick while we've got this pause. Remnants in the Past, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. James White, also a member of the channel. Andrew Short becomes a member of the channel. You guys flooding in here. Lots of new members coming in. DWB633 Barn becomes a member of the channel. You guys got access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun stuff. Do the best I can to highlight your comments throughout streams, particularly in the post-game show. A lot of people going to be in here on Saturday evening after the game. A lot of people. I will try to hit as many member comments as I can throughout that stream. Let's hear a little bit more from the GOAT, the guest picker. There is no Manning curse. Let's hear more from the GOAT.
Was 2 hitch routes on the outside and 2 seam routes on the inside. And all week we've run it. We're just trying to throw the little hitch route outside, right? Just take the completion. Sure enough, we drop back. It's like 4 guys run to the outside. Like, it's almost like maybe they were filming our practice. Hey, we got to cover this little hitch route outside. And nobody covered our best receiver, a guy named Joey Kent, who was from Alabama, on this seam route. So I throw about a little 7-yard pass, and Joey Kent cuts back and goes 80 yards for a touchdown, and the route was on after that. But, I think anytime you throw a touchdown on the first play of the game, yeah, it's fun, especially when you're not expecting to do it. But to do it in that game, for Joey Kent, who was from Huntsville, Alabama, and that changed the 0-9 streak that Tennessee had going into that series.
Interesting. That changed the 0-9 streak going into that. There's another streak, and that this rivalry, this Tennessee-Alabama rivalry, has been very streak heavy. Very streak heavy. It's time to end another streak.
Listen, you know who else that looked like? There's somebody else that wears number 11 who happens to be pretty quick and runs those over the middle routes pretty often. I wonder who that might be. I wonder if they might make that sort of play against Alabama. I wonder if we could run that same type of play to somebody else who wears number 11. Who might that be? I wonder.
What happens if Tennessee gets the football first? They go out. Hendon Hooker connects with Jalen Hyatt. He houses it right out of the gate. Orange out. Xavier, the stadium might collapse. The stadium might collapse if that happens on Saturday.
It will. And let's not also forget, too, we still got to think about Cedric Tillman. What if he does give it a go? I don't know if he's going to be like 80, 90% in that range, but even if he comes out to the field to play, I mean, just think about it. We got a lot of offensive weapons. You got Keaton, you got Tillman, you got Hyatt, and then you got Brew McCoy. A lot of weapons. So I would love to see what Josh Heupel and this offense is going to do with all those weapons on the field.
As you can see in the chat, they're going absolutely nuts. I've created a band of monsters. If somebody drops a $50 super chat, they want the entire show to stop immediately. So we'll go ahead and do it. We'll stop the show immediately because that's what you guys want us to do. Black Metal Banjo for $50. That ain't cheap. $50 ain't cheap. That's about a fourth of a tank of gas right now. $50 is a lot of money. Black Metal Banjo, thank you for the super chat. It's very, very generous. I guess I'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Black Metal Banjo for $50. I've been watching the Vols for 17 years now. I'm 28, and I've never felt this excited about a team. I never want to lose this feeling. Just became a member. Love the content. Go Big Orange. Thank you, Black Metal Banjo. That's the sad thing, man. Like going back and watching that 95 game with Peyton Manning, that first play, this football team used to be something special, and it's been a long time. We got a taste of it, and I know I say this, I feel like I say it every day, but it's the truth, man. We got a taste of it last year going into that Ole Miss game. That felt like the old days. And look, as a content creator, you can see it. You can gauge where that excitement level is at. You can see it based on views. You can see it based on how many people are in the chat. You can see it based on people wanting more content. I can see it. And we got a taste of that during that Ole Miss game. Well, that game didn't go our way, and then it fell off. Saturday is an opportunity, Xavier. It's a statement game.
Well, and that's the thing too, Boog. Like me and Gabe here. That's what was really saddens me is that we never grew up to see the glory days of Tennessee because a lot of people forget too. Alabama used to look like us way, way, way back in the day, and Tennessee used to own, the South Carolinas, the Vanderbilts, the Kentuckys, and so on and so forth. And I just want to experience that, bro. I really, really do. And, I've always been a ride and die, too, with the highs and lows. Been many of the highs and lows. And it's pretty funny because I seen on Facebook, that it was a post that I shared that it was like, look, don't be rocking with us when you seen Georgia State beat us, when you seen Missouri beat us, and Vanderbilt, in those past years. Don't be hyping on the hype train now. Don't be doing it now. But yes, you're right, Boog. The time is now to step up, prove the world that we belong in the SEC.
You guys have been so generous with the Super Chats today. Like, it blows my mind how generous you $50, $10, $2. Joining the channel, it blows my mind. You guys are so supportive of what we do. Let me run through a few more Super Chats. And I want to listen to Josh Heupel's comments from his last media appearance of the week, because he kind of addresses some things. Jalen McCullough, Cedric Tillman, we can read between the lines. We'll see what he had to say. Jamie Roberts for 10, thank you for Super Chat. Go Big Orange, Vols by Fitty. Vols by Fitty. You can pick up a Vols by Fitty shirt over at bonfire.com/store/talkingballs. Thank you, Jamie, for the Super Chat. Jason Vaughn for 2. Let's see a Buck Fama sign on College game day. Go Vols. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of those. Chase Newsom for 5. Hey Siri, play Rocky Top. Be awesome if I had Siri set up and it just immediately started playing because I said that. GBO 3628 Tennessee. Love the show. Watch every day at work. Gets me through the day. I love it, Chase. That's why I want to do more of these morning streams. All you slackers don't want to work. You want to listen to me, Gabe, and Xavier talk about Tennessee football. So hopefully we can find a way to make it happen. We can bring you more of these morning streams. Your boy Flea for 5. Thank you for the Super Chat. I feel like tomorrow will be an exact replica of the 95 game. A hungry, confident Tennessee team just competing. Go Big Orange. Gabe laid it out for us, guys. Gabe laid it out. Number 11, taking one to the house. First play of the game. If that happens, Neyland Stadium is going to explode. C. Andrews becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Let me see if I am caught up on Super Chats. All you members of the channel, show people what they get if they join the channel. Flood those Talkin VAWLS emojis into the chat. And you also get that Power T beside your name. I think somebody once said if you don't have a Power T beside your name, you must be an Alabama fan. While I'm chilling. Is that a thing? Let's share this up. Go check out the merch. Again, we talked about the Vols by Fitty shirt. You can go to bonfire.com/store/talkingballs. The link to this is also in the description below. But this limited edition shirt right here, you guys talking about Buck Fama. This shirt will be gone forever on Saturday. Tennessee's going to play at 3:30. We're going to go live right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network immediately following the game. We'll have a post-game celebration, hopefully lighting up cigars and celebrating. Immediately after that live stream, this shirt is going to be deleted from the store. So if you want one, you better go get one soon. Again, bonfire.com/store/talkingballs. This is the other new shirt here, Vols by Fitty. You guys know the memes. You guys know the jokes don't matter. Vols by Fitty. You can check those out. Plus the State Pride. All the old fans. Speaking of State Pride, Two people have told me that if Tennessee wins on Saturday, they're going to get the Talkin VAWLS State Pride logo tattooed on their body. So let's go, Vols. Let's get some grown men with Talkin VAWLS tattoos. Cannot wait to see that. But again, bonfire.com/store/talkingballs. Buck Fama limited edition. Go get one while they are still available. 512 people watching live. We're going to keep on rolling on this Friday morning stream. Man, having a blast talking here with Xavier and Gabe. I never get tired of talking Tennessee football. Let's go ahead and share up the Josh Heupel press conference. We'll pause it. We'll talk about it as we go through it. This was the last time he met with the media leading into the game on Saturday against Alabama. Let's hear what Coach Heupel had to say. If you guys want me to pause it at any point, let me know.
Everybody's doing well. Good Thursday for us, and obviously looking forward to Friday, pushing forward and being ready to go play our best football. Be a great environment. Looking forward to it.
We'll start with Brent. Coach, anything new on Jalen McCullough's situation, and if you can't, how do you manage the last 48 hours on that deal?
Yeah, we're getting multiple guys ready to play, and obviously with the situation, there's a process that goes on. We're still going through that, and we'll see where we get to late tomorrow.
So go ahead and pause it right there. So that, to me, when I heard that, that is him saying Jalen's not going to play. If they're not able to prepare him like they maybe should be able to, I don't think they're going to put him out there against Alabama. The fact that they are actively getting more guys ready to play, to me, that at least means that Jalen is going to be heavily rotated if he plays. That does not give me confidence that he's going to play, though. Because Josh Heupel does not. He never gives hints as to whether or not a player is going to play or not. That was a pretty big hint, in my opinion. that there is a good chance that we do not see Jalen just because of the whole process of the legal proceedings and everything. So.
John Hill for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Boogie, we need to do a live stream when Gabriel turns 21 so we can all take a shot with him. I don't know. The last time somebody took shots, they showed up on the post game slurring their words. Xavier, do you have any comments on that? I'm just kidding. Hey, look, I agree. I don't think that Jalen McCullough is going to play. I think that situation is going to play out in his favor. I think he's going to come out on top. I think he's got an attorney. I believe the attorney has been vocal about Jalen McCullough's innocence, and we've talked about the story and how it was an odd situation. But I think you're going to see a whole lot of Danico Slaughter playing for Jalen McCullough. And look, that secondary is a huge question mark, especially if Bryce Young plays. That secondary, you talked about it earlier, if Bryce Young plays, Tennessee, how many passing yards are they going to give up? And if Jalen McCullough is not playing, also look at Warren Burrell, out for the year, right? And those are two guys that we really, as a fan base, pretty critical of the safeties, pretty critical of Warren Burrell. But now we're going to be without a starting safety that's played a whole lot of football for Tennessee. We're going to be without Warren Burrell, who's played a whole lot of football for Tennessee. Also, I saw somebody in the chat there talking about Kamal Hadden. Kamal Hadden is questionable at this point. He's got a hamstring issue. I've not seen confirmed. Somebody here, John Humphrey, says Hadden out. I've not seen that he's out. I've seen that he's questionable. But regardless, Tennessee going to be down in the secondary, Xavier. And if Bryce Young plays, Heisman Trophy quarterback, Tennessee's going to have their hands full.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier about, like I said, you got to tighten that cushion. And then for the defensive front, you just got to try to get after Bryce, man. I mean, you have to. Like I said, same game plan with LSU and the same game plan we did with Florida is that you got to get pressure on the quarterback. And even if Milroe even plays, you got to get pressure after them to where they won't, throw all over us, all over the field. So, but yeah, like Gabe said too, I think that's a big hint of saying that Jalen's not going to play.
All right, let's hear some more from Josh Heupel. Last media appearance before Tennessee-Alabama on Saturday.
Tim in the back, and then Jimmy. Coach, with the status of Bryce Young kind of up in the air, what changes for you guys when you're trying to prep for two different quarterbacks? Their skill sets are a little bit different.
Yeah, skill sets are a little bit different. The thing about both of them is that they're mobile. You're going to see some of the base offense with whoever's playing. You have to prepare and have a plan for both of them anyways, depending on how the game unfolds. So, for us, our defensive players, but our coaching staff as well, having a plan for both.
Just a couple of things. What makes Jameer Gibbs such a special running back?
Yeah, I think he's got really good pace, vision, delivers blocks really well, slow to go early. Once he hits the hole, he's got an explosive, nature about him. He's got the ability to make you miss an open space, can take it the distance. He's a really good back.
Debo for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Says televised snot rocket. Cough drops in my pocket. Ref's gonna profit. Don't care. Vols by 50. I love it, Debo. I love it. The only thing that would make it better if you had a Vols by 50 Talkin VAWLS shirt on. That would make that even better. But thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that. Let's hear a little bit more. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. There we go.
I'm not going to get into all that right now.
I love that he just doesn't care.
Big boy pants. He put on the big boy pants right
Look
there.
at his eye. That is a man that is focused on the task at hand. Look at that. He's like, shut up. Not answering that question.
Well, we tried on the call, so I guess we'll try on Tillman and Mincy.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love what the inside jokes Wes has with Josh.
Yeah.
Funny.
That's the thing, too, is the fact that they have those inside jokes. There's relationships there. And all these coaches have relationships with the media, but Jeremy Pruitt was never up there laughing. Butch Jones was never up there laughing. He was always pissed. Like, Butch Jones looked like he was about to have a heart attack every time he was up in front of a microphone.
You already would have put out a quote this week, you know what I mean? I'm disappointed. This is a big game. You guys are usually on top of it. So I will see where we get to after tomorrow.
Just a bunch of silence after those two answers. Trying to come up with another question.
The players were here. I know you weren't here, but it's been a long time since Tennessee took care of Alabama. What would it mean to this program to come away with a victory?
This is a big one because it's the next one on us. Obviously, this is a rival game too. We understand the type of opponent that we're playing. It's a big game for everybody inside the program because this is the one that we got on Saturday afternoon. For our fan base, our former players understand the importance. This is one of the games that everybody circles, and at the same time, like, there's not a play that we made or didn't make last week that's going to help us in this one. The same is true with this rivalry, over here over the recent years. So for everybody inside our programs, it's about this week, this opportunity.
Josh, do you rank the way your team is prepared for Florida, Pitt, LSU, and Alabama?
Yeah.
As opposed to just not getting too high for these type games, keeping it even.
Yeah, well, I think there's got to be consistent nature in the way that you approach every day inside of your building. The big games, there's more media attention. There might be more noise as the week continues to go on, but your approach and your preparation and your practice habits have to be really consistent. Otherwise, your performance is going to be very, very extremely up and down. And this group continues to get better in the way that we approach everything. You guys heard me say it last week. We've continued to practice better. They enjoy practicing. Good teams get better throughout the course of the week. I like, the approach and what we've done so far this week.
Patrick?
Rich, you talked a little bit about this after the Florida game, sort of soaking in the moment, walking in on the ball walk on game day. Will you kind of let you and your players do that again, or is it something that now that you've seen it once, it's kind of, making?
Nah, man, you better enjoy it.
Stupid question.
There's been a lot of work that's gone on from our staff and our players, to be able to play in games like this that matter from the outside. You know what I mean? And have this type of attention. You should enjoy, ball walk. There's not a better pregame experience in all of college football than that. The energy inside of our stadium when you're running through the tee, you better enjoy that moment. Now, when the ball's kicked off, it's 11 on 11. You got to reset. You got to be, focused on doing your job at a really high level. When you're on the sidelines, you got to be able to take adjustments and then go execute them. You got to be in the moment. But yeah, for a brief second, you can enjoy the build-up and the lead-up to kickoff. And I think our players have handled it in a really pretty good way here this year.
He said that same thing before the Florida game, and I love it. And it's what I think makes him different. And I've talked about this a lot, but a lot of coaches say, no, block out the noise, focus, dial in, task at hand, blah blah blah. Josh Heupel has been there. He's done that. He's played at an elite level, national championship games, in the Heisman race, all that stuff. He's done it as a player versus being in the band like Butch Jones or Jeremy Pruitt, not an elite level. Not an elite level as a player. Josh Heupel's played at an elite level. So to tell his guys, look, that outside noise is going to come. It is what it is. And I love the fact that he tells them, enjoy the moment, enjoy the ball walk, enjoy running through the tee, then get dialed in and get focused on what we're here to do.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, is it's not just you won't be able to block out the noise. It's no, enjoy the noise. Enjoy walking off that bus and seeing the Tennessee fans 50 deep around the corner up the hill. Enjoy that because they're here for you. Enjoy that. And I don't know if that's Patrick Brown or Ryan Callahan they sound pretty similar who asked that question, but that was a really dumb question. Do you want to let your kids only enjoy the ball walk once? Literally. So
No.
do you want to let your kids enjoy the ball walk this week, or was that only for the Florida game? Like, come on. I know Wes already asked the question about Tillman but like, you got to be able to come up with something better than that. But Josh, I love how he handles that stuff. I mean, not just hear the noise, but enjoy the noise, because that does change your approach, right? Because when you're taught to block out the noise, when you hear the noise, there's a mental thing that happens where you're like, uh-oh, I'm hearing the noise. What do I do? What do I do? But if you enjoy that noise and you let it focus, you up, man, that motivates you. And I think that's what separates this team from a lot of others.
Well, and I just think that's just what was sports, period. Like I said, like this game kind of feels like a championship kind of atmosphere. And yeah, just enjoy the moment. You know, I mean, it's in every sport. In a big game like this coming up, it's like, yeah, enjoy this moment. But whenever it comes to kickoff or tip off, like in basketball, you got to be dialed in and ready to go. And that's what I love about them.
Let's hear the last couple of minutes here. I know some of you guys in the chat, I see you saying you can't hear him. The volume's all the way up.
Is this the VolQuest on 3? God,
No,
their
well,
audio is horrible.
This one's on Rocky Top Insider. It has to be something with that media room because it's everybody.
Well,
it's all of them.
Even Ben McKee posts interviews to his YouTube channel, or the press conferences to his YouTube channel, and the audio's fine. So how in the world can these like entire organizations not get decent audio like that? I watch Ben McKee's videos, so if y'all want to watch good audio.
What is it? He has his own YouTube channel, or do they post it to Go Balls 247?
Ben McKee.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know he did anything on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how he got access to the whole audio and stuff, but he does, and it sounds great. So,
All right, here we go.
Will Anderson being such a special talent, other pass rushers they have, and then all the stunning and games that they play up front. What's going to be important for your offensive line to have success?
Yeah, if it was just one guy, it's be easier, right? They're good across the board, and that's whoever in their front four steps on the field. They have the ability to rush the passer. They're dynamic and destructive in the run game too. We got to have balance. You don't want to be living in 3rd and long against these guys. We got to do a good job on early downs, and then at the end of the day, we're gonna have to win some one-on-one, pass pro battles in those 3rd and long situations.
Anything else?
Hold on, I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
I can't wait for Alabama's infamous cheetah package to just be a non-factor in this game. I cannot wait for the whole week. I mean, Nick Saban has to hate it, right? Like, oh, the cheetah package. It's like, oh, it's this big scary thing. I can't wait for Tennessee just to throw screens right at it and just make them a non-factor. Like, you can simply out-scheme that. I mean, it's just like the Rabbits package for Tennessee, but you don't hear the national media going, oh, Tennessee's Rabbits package. They got Josh Josephs and Elijah Harrett. No. It's just because Will Anderson and Dallas Turner are out there, and they're both really good athletes, and like they're both on the field at the same time. So it's like, I'm just called a cheetah package, so it's scary and fast. It's like, oh my god, it's I don't know. I can't wait for it to. Somebody asking how I know it was called cheetah package because they call it
all over the media. It's all over the media.
Literally all over the media. It's
Crazy Nugs for 5. Get press conferences from Off the Hook on YouTube. By far the best audio. Go Big Orange. Yeah, okay, I'll look at that and Ben McKee both and see if we can get better audio. I usually use VolQuest or Rocky Top Insider or the official Tennessee, but even the official Tennessee YouTube channel, you can hear the Coach Heupel better, but you can't hear the questions being asked.
They don't even do all the conferences. Like the Tennessee channel only does a few. Like if you want to watch like players and stuff, then Ben McKee and Off the Hook has really good audio.
VolQuest, yeah.
He mentioned the running game for Tennessee because Tennessee's run defense obviously really good, but so is Alabama's. But Alabama, I think Jahmyr Gibbs hands down better than Tennessee's running backs. Xavier, you think Tennessee will be able to get the running game going? I think we're going to have to see a whole lot of Hendon Hooker, whole lot of quarterback draws. Gabe brought up a good point, screen passes. And there's ways, an extension of the running game. You hear Josh Heupel talk about that a lot. That's what those little quick passes to the outside are. Sometimes you'll see a swing pass. There are ways that they use an extension of the run game, even though it's not technically the run game. But you think we can get Jabari Small going or Jalen Wright going on Saturday?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, like I said, I think we are going to see a lot of Hendon Hooker involved with the run game. And, yeah, like what I said earlier, too, just with the LSU game, just, get everybody involved with the run game. Hendon Hooker, Jabari Small, Jalen Wright. Now, with Jalen Wright is that he's got to protect that football, man. Like, Jalen Wright, I think in this game, and I love him to death because he runs hard and tough, but he's got to protect the football. But yeah, I believe that everybody needs to get involved with the run game. And then, yeah, I believe we are going to see, like I said, some of those swing passes on the outside just to, add extension to the play. But yeah, I totally agree. Everybody should get involved with the run game.
Jalen Wright reminds me a lot of Jeremy Banks when he was a running back. Just really talented, really shifty, shedding tackles, but just
He just
could
can't head
not
on
hold
to the
on to that
football.
football. Difference is, I don't think Jalen Wright could be turned into a linebacker. He's
No.
not that freak of an athlete like Jeremy Banks is. So we got to see Jalen Wright improve that. Just hold on to that football, man. Just hold on to it. If you want to get out there on the sideline, if you have to fumble, get out there on the sideline and fumble it out of bounds like he did against LSU. But preferably just don't lose the football. Just hold on.
I'd rather have Dylan Sampson in there though. Like I said, if I had to pick which one would I put in there, especially in a crucial game moment like this, I put in Sampson.
Not if Hendon Hooker's going to pass.
Yeah.
We saw how that went last week.
Have you seen the responses to that too?
It's a learning moment, man. But what have we heard all season? Dylan Sampson isn't playing because he is not a great pass. He has a lot to learn in pass pro. Well, got put out there in the LSU game. Just didn't. He stepped up too far, got sucked into the line of scrimmage, and Hendon Hooker got destroyed because of it.
Blasted.
So it's just a learning moment, but against Alabama, I just don't think you can trust him out there to pick up those blocks. So Jabari Small, excellent in pass protection. Well, I won't say excellent, really good in pass protection. Jalen Wright is solid. Maybe you put in Dylan Sampson in there in like a goal line scenario like we saw against Akron. That would be cool. That's a look we haven't shown the past few weeks. It'd be cool to go ahead and show that again. But other than that, I love Dylan Sampson. I think he's going to be great. But right now,
and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they even throw in Squirrel White in there.
I think we'll see some Squirrel White.
You can put those guys in and find a way to utilize them, like Dylan Sampson with the little speed option stuff. But the problem is you start putting guys in for specific things, and then teams key on that. Yeah, they key on that, and they realize, hey, they're not going to throw the ball here. We set up to defend the run or the speed option or whatever it is. But it's something you talk about all the time when these dynamic running backs come in as freshmen, then they get put in the game and you see what happened. And even Hendon Hooker said, I saw that safety was coming, but I thought somebody was going to pick him up. Like he didn't throw Dylan Sampson under the bus, but he threw Dylan Sampson under the bus. But, I mean, the thing is, again, Alabama is going to make you pay if you do that. And we're lucky Hendon Hooker didn't get hurt worse than he did. I mean, he got absolutely annihilated. A couple of super chats here. Casey Edwards for 2. Put Peyton Manning in for an honorary pass. I think he's out of eligibility. Old JP's got some eligibility though. Maybe we can get him out there at the offensive tackle position. Ryan Barton for 5. 45-42 Vols win. I love it, Ryan. Thank you for the super chat. Robert Tuck for 2. Did you know Al Wilson was a quarterback in high school? No, I did not know that. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't know that.
You guys didn't even. You didn't even see Al Wilson play. You're so young. You didn't even see the GOAT. The Peyton Manning of the defense. It's so sad. It's so sad. All right, big opportunity coming up for Tennessee on Saturday. Tennessee, Alabama, 3:30 kickoff. CBS will be live. I don't know. Talking about going live an hour before kickoff, I may extend that. We may make it an hour and a half, depending on if somebody gets back to. We may have a special guest on the tailgate show, and if that's the case, I'm going to add 30 minutes to the show so that we can knock that out and then go into the fan call-in portion. But I will keep you guys up to date. Just look when I post the links. I always post the links pretty early on Saturday morning, and I'll let you guys know about that. And then we'll be live immediately following the game. But it's a big opportunity, not just on the field. It's also a huge opportunity in recruiting. Gabe did some work. He's got a list of some guys. We're going to talk about some of the guys that are going to be on campus this Saturday. But if you don't think these big-time atmospheres, these big-time games, and that's why when Josh Heupel talks about the noise, and the noise is going to be there, the noise is a good thing because not only does your team have to deal with it, but also recruits see it, and that's what you want in the world of recruiting. Gabe, you got your list. Let's run through some guys. Let's talk a little bit about recruiting. We don't have to go too in-depth, but
right.
Some of the big names that are going to be on campus.
Yeah, all right. So I have a list of every single guy. We don't necessarily have to go into every single guy, but there are some key guys. If you don't care about recruiting this weekend, you should, because this is a massive opportunity, arguably bigger than the Florida game, as far as just opportunity to really show guys what Rocky Top is. So there's a lot of guys. I'm not going to mention any of the commitments right now that are going to be there, the current Tennessee commitments. But there are a few guys, 2023 class. We have some really elite guys. Samuel Mpemba, edge rusher. elite. A lot of people think Georgia's the leader. He is a game wrecker. He is the type of guy that Tennessee wants on the defense, especially in a Tim Banks style. We want him. David Hobbs. David Hobbs speaks for himself. A guy that I think Tennessee's in really good position for, if I'm being honest. Tamarian Parker, also another defensive lineman. Clemson is the leader for him, but again, get to show him. Carnell Tate. We're pretty sure he's going to be on campus this weekend. He didn't say, he did not announce, I don't think, on social media that he's going to be here, but it was a pretty certain thing among a lot of recruiting experts that he was going to be on an unofficial this weekend. If that's the case, I really like Tennessee's chance to flip him. I did see him. He posted there was a recruit that posted like a thing about like, oh, where should I go? He had like a top 4 that included Ohio State, and Carnell Tate posted a retweeted that with an emoji of a Buckeye. But I mean, does that really mean anything?
I feel like that if we win this game on Saturday, and if he comes into this atmosphere and sees how big of a fan base and how much love that we show the players, I believe he'll flip.
I don't even think Tennessee has to win. I think if he shows up, and I made a video when the rumors came out because, like Gabe said, a lot of recruiting people have said he's coming. Chad Simmons has talked about it. Everything appears and it can change. It's Friday morning at 10:30. It can change by the time Saturday rolls around. Maybe he doesn't make it in. If he steps foot on campus Saturday, Tennessee is going to land Carnell Tate. That's just my opinion. But I don't think people realize how freaking close Tennessee was to getting Carnell Tate. At one point, he was committing to Tennessee. It was going to happen. But then everything with Noah Rogers and the other kid and getting them all 3 lined up to Ohio State. And look, that's part of it. That's part of it. That was look what Ohio State has done with wide receivers in the NFL. And you go look, and it's like, man, 3 elite wide receivers in the same class. We'll ball out. And then you get there and you start looking around, and it's like, hold on a second. There's a lot of 5-star wide receivers around me that are upperclassmen. How long till I can get on the field? I think Carnell Tate sees a path to the field here. I think he loves himself, this Josh Heupel offense. I think he loves himself some Coach Pope. And I think if he steps foot on campus Saturday, he's committing to Tennessee. May not happen immediately. It may go down to the wire. It may be an early signing day deal before we know who actually lands Carnell Tate.
So 4-star offensive lineman Vyson Lang is going to be here tomorrow. He's our top remaining offensive line prospect in the 2023 class. I think Tennessee's in really good shape. I think it's kind of a lock at this point. I think it's just a matter of when. I think he has a commitment scheduled. I'm not sure exactly when that is. There are a couple of 3-star guys, a couple of JUCO guys. An interesting unofficial from a wide receiver named Brendan Jenkins, who has 2 offers, and they're both from like FCS schools. So not sure what that, I don't know if he's sort of like a very prospective prospect, if he like just started playing football, not sure, but he's an interesting guy to watch. I'll go over some 2024 guys because that is arguably the more important class in my opinion than 2023. I'm just saying, I think 2024 is our chance to really, really show what we can do in recruiting. Because we got some 3-star guys early in this class, and it's not all about the stars, but you would rather have a 5-star than a 3-star. So some 3-stars got committed early in this class. Would have liked to see them maybe wait a little bit, because I think with the way the season is playing out, they could have maybe gained some momentum with some bigger prospects, but they only have so many spots left. So 5-star 2024 quarterback Jaden Davis is going to be in town. He's a guy that likes Tennessee, a very talented guy. Let's see. This one is interesting. Joseph Stone Jr., a wide receiver who is committed to LSU. He was at the LSU game a week ago, and he is now coming to Knoxville to watch this game against Alabama. He is offered by Tennessee, of course. That is going to be really interesting to watch because I don't know who it was that I was watching asked the question, just some of these recruits come to watch the LSU Tennessee game and take a look at Tennessee and go, maybe I want me a piece of that. Maybe
You know what's
maybe
a funny story? Jordan Matthews went to that LSU game and they wouldn't let him sit with the recruits because he is a Tennessee commit, but he's a local Louisiana guy. He went to the game and he was not allowed to sit there. And that's something that's worth noting for this game too. There are so many kids that want to be there to visit this weekend that Tennessee has to tell some people no, because you don't have enough room in that recruiting section. I do want to make this statement. You mentioned Lang going to be on campus and being the main, and he's a big time target because we talked about the 4 big tackles that Tennessee was after. And something interesting from VolQuest this morning, and let me throw a little plug out there for VolQuest because I'm about to give some of their information. I give a lot of their information, but I always give credit to where my information comes from. So people that get pissed and, oh, you steal this, you steal that. It's not stealing somebody's information when you cite them and credit them. But VolQuest is offering a year membership for a freaking $1. If you've got $1 in your pocket, you can go get inside information from VolQuest.com. So just a little plug for VolQuest.
And FYI, none of the info that I'm giving was from behind a paywall. I did all the research, looked up Twitter, all the posts from players, talking about they're coming here.
Well, I'm giving you something. I'm giving you something.
Just on that note, just in case anyone wants to come after me for stealing somebody's list, I have like 7 more guys on this list than anyone else.
You can find it anywhere on social media. Anywhere on social media. There are lists everywhere. But something interesting from VolQuest this morning is that Tennessee's back in the mix with Stanton Ramel. And because you mentioned Lane coming on campus, I just want to mention that, man. Big-time prospect at the offensive line, on the offensive line. And the lines of communication are back open. But the reason I bring that up is because recruiting's not over till it's over. And even with Francis Mauigoa, like nobody's really talking about that. I don't know where he stands. Tennessee could very well come knocking on that door again too. And I know he's got a big time NIL offer. I'm sure Miami's going to throw the money at him, but recruiting is wide open. And if you continue to have success, and that's why this game coming up on Saturday is so important. Matthew Wilkins, I don't know why did I kick Rocky off the show? I've never kicked anybody off the show, so I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead, Gabe.
Okay, so Jake Merklinger, another quarterback, 4-star guy, high 4-star. He was at the Florida game. He really likes Tennessee. He seems to be a priority target for Tennessee for the 2024 class. I personally would rather have Jaden Davis, but Jake Merklinger, a really talented guy, got some big prospects. I trust our coach's eyes, I think, more than my own. Edwin Spillman, super talented linebacker, 4-star guy for 2024. Boo Carter is going to be in town again. Boo Carter is a lock in my opinion. Boo Carter is a Tennessee lock. He loves Tennessee. He's always wearing the gloves. I love him, man. Boo Carter is going to be – there's a chance for Boo Carter to be a Tennessee legend. I really like him. His game is so fit for Josh Heupel's offense. It's going to be really exciting. So many wide receivers, okay? So many wide receivers coming to visit in the 2024 class. Marion Stewart, Boo Carter, like I just said, Debron Gatling, Jacob Oden. Those are all 4-star guys. And then we have a 3-star wide receiver, 3-star athlete who leans wide receiver, Mekhi White. A lot of wide receivers and a lot of defensive linemen. So that's pretty interesting. Trying to see if there's any more keys. We're going to have some of the most touted prospects in 2025 in this class, but we don't have to go over that. We'll get to that in a year or so. But yeah, big time guys in town. This is a huge weekend. I know everyone doesn't love all the numbers and the recruiting nerd stuff, but if you can't see the massive implications for the future of Tennessee football in this recruiting weekend here, you got to learn to see it because it's big time. So
I don't even think, like I said earlier, I don't even think they have to win, but I do think they have to be competitive. You can't go into that environment, that atmosphere, and get just blown out inside your own stadium. We got a new member of the channel here. You guys are just wanting me to say. You guys convinced him to join just so I would read the name. Suck My Vols becomes a member of the channel. Thank you for the support. Joins emoji access. You got those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. You got that power T beside your name. This right here sums up. This sums up where the fan base is at, right? When you talk about creating content and people showing up, this is the second person in the chat in the last couple of minutes that says, what happened with the indie kid? And we saw this when JP left the show too, which now JP's back. But it's just started watching back again. Why are people magically coming out of the woodwork? Because Tennessee is winning ball games, and now it's I can't get enough content. I got to tune in. But to answer the question, Indy Kid left. He quit. He didn't want to do it anymore. He made some changes in his personal life with what was going on. So nobody told Indy Kid to leave. Nobody fired. I've never kicked anybody off the show ever. Everybody has stuff that goes on in their real life, and it takes a huge commitment to be a part of this channel. And so we got a lot of people that are rotating around, a lot of people helping out. Gabe, Xavier, obviously Dauber, JP, and so many people that jump on here and talk Tennessee football, and I love it. But Indy Kid's doing good. I talked to him a couple of months ago. Like I said, he made some changes in his personal life and kind of wanted to shift off of YouTube in the public eye. He actually told me when he quit, he's like, dude, I may just delete all of my social media and just ride off into the sunset. But he's still floating around out there on Twitter. So let's the chat's talking about cigars. The chat is talking about cigars. The tradition, lighting up a big cigar after the game. I saw this article, and normally 99% of the time, I hate the Knoxville News Sentinel. I feel like they are so negative. All they put out is negative stuff, which I was pretty much yelled at this week by multiple people saying that I was putting out stuff that was damaging to the university because I made the Josh Heupel video. But it's so funny. It's like, what's the point of YouTube? The point of YouTube is to get views, to get clicks, to get subscribers. And if I put out a video and it says, Paul Feinbaum makes slight suggestion that Oklahoma should pursue Josh Heupel, nobody's clicking that. But if you put Josh Heupel to Oklahoma, ? They're clicking it. And then guess what? I spent 10 minutes laying out why Josh Heupel was not going to Oklahoma. There's some people in the media, I'm not going to name names, but they're in the spotlight, and you guys know who they are. And they're making smart comments about content creators. If you're going to talk about a content creator, because I know who you're talking about, keep my name out your mouth. I know you kept my name out your mouth, but when you're going to talk about specific content creators and putting out negative stuff, at least listen to the video. At least listen to the video. You're never going to hear this. You're never going to hear this. But don't be talking about me being negative if you don't listen to the freaking videos. 10 minutes explaining why Josh Heupel was not going to Oklahoma. But I'm sorry that I understand YouTube a little bit more than some people that are in the media. Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys will pay attention and take note.
Well,
I went on that rant.
You didn't get a degree, so you don't get to freaking be on the same level as me. You didn't get a communications degree. Maybe you did.
Dumb.
I don't know. But
so dumb. So dumb.
That's the ego.
It just drives me nuts. It's just a small number of people. It's a small number of people. Like, great relationship with Eric Kane. Having Ben McKee on the show was great. We exchanged some messages after he wants to come back on. There are some people in the media that get it. There are other people in the media that think they are holier than thou, and they don't respect a YouTube channel that is based on a fan's opinion. And that's the thing. They don't understand what we're trying to do here, but I don't care. Bring it on. Bring it on. We'll see who wins the YouTube game because I feel confident about the community that we built here. But I went on that tangent all because I don't like the Knoxville News Sentinel. I don't know where that came from. Apparently, I've been yelled at all week by people, so I had to get that off my chest.
You got to vent.
Let's talk about this article from Knoxville News Sentinel just because I think it's funny. I saw that Spire Sports Group shared this out. It says here, ready to light up a victory cigar after Tennessee wins. Here's how to sneak a stogie into Neyland Stadium. Goes on to say here, talking about the third Saturday in October. Another storied tradition Vol fans have been waiting years to partake in, and that is a victory cigar. One of the biggest games of the college football season is going down in Knoxville on Saturday, and there's a lot on the line. The Volunteers have not beaten the Crimson Tide since 2006. It says here, for years, Alabama players and fans have had a monopoly on this smoky tradition. That's why the reason this came up is because you guys were talking about cigars in the chat, so it reminded me of this, and I wanted to bring it up. So here's what it says. If the Vols win, can we smoke cigars inside of Neyland Stadium? says tobacco use is prohibited by the team, and both Neyland Stadium and the University of Tennessee at Knoxville campus are smoke-free. That hasn't stopped Alabama fans. So it goes on, talks a little bit about Randy Sanders. It says here, planning to defy the rules and bring a cigar? Here are a few ideas how to sneak in your stogie. You can fit one in a small clutch purse. You know, this almost applies to airplane bottles as well.
Yeah.
Airplane bottles as well. Seen plenty of people use some of these. It says hide it in a ponytail or a tall hat. Stick it inside your shoe. That's one I've seen a lot of people do with the airplane bottles is stick it into their cowboy boot because it is Neyland Stadium. Place it in your back pocket and cover it with a shirt. Tape it to the stick of a pom-pom. That's a good idea. Put it in the pockets of your checkered overalls. Perform a magic trick. Make it disappear to impress the security guards. Hide it up your sleeve. This is a good one. But don't get confused. Place it in a hot dog bun. That's make them think
Dangerous, but smart.
Yeah, make them think it's a smoky dog. That's always an option. Wear it as a fake mustache. So give some credit to Knoxville News Sentinel. I thought that was a fun little article.
Okay, okay. I gotta mention something real quick. This is well, actually, on that note, I have something to say. So there's people saying that they don't smoke, so they're gonna get candy cigarettes, and I haven't seen anybody have a problem with that. I'm 20 years old. I can't go out and buy a cigar, but I have a pipe. So you're telling me that if I light up if Tennessee wins and I light up a pipe full of tobacco, that doesn't count?
No.
Come on, man. You're gonna let people.
No, I'm not letting them get away. No, they don't get away with it either.
Gosh dang it, man.
Make an exception and fire up a cigar. Although I say that, I'm not lighting up a cigar in my office. I'm not lighting up a cigar in my office.
I'm just gonna have to go to smoke shops all around DFW and just find someone who's gonna illegally sell me a cigar, I guess, because I don't feel okay with not partaking in it. All right, I don't feel okay. Wait a
second. How old are you?
20.
You got to be 21 to buy cigars now?
Dude,
Yeah.
Where were you, man? They changed this rule like 2 years ago.
They changed the law, Boogie. Yeah.
Why am I looking at the laws? I'm 41 years old. I don't pay attention. If I want a cigar, I go buy a cigar like a grown man does.
You have to be 20. You have to be 21 to buy tobacco products now.
Yeah, they changed it from 18 to 21.
So wait a second. So you can go to war and fight for this country, but you can't buy a cigar?
Yep.
Yes.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, we're well over an hour and a half into this thing. Great show today. Great show. Man, just giving you guys an extra morning show. You guys show up, show out, show love. Over 500 people in here pretty much the entire morning. So thank you guys for choosing us. Thank you guys for picking us. Just a reminder, we'll be live tomorrow, probably an hour before kickoff. So make sure you come hang out for that. And then we will be live immediately following the game. Hopefully we are celebrating what would be the biggest win in Gabe's lifetime on Saturday.
I have something to mention. This is going to be interesting to leave it on. So Alabama hasn't announced their uniform yet. Tennessee, there was some weird confusion there. Dick's House of Sports or whatever it's called, I can't remember, in West Knoxville, had a statue of Tennessee wearing all orange. Well, yesterday, they announced late that they were going to be wearing the orange and white. Alabama hasn't announced their uniform yet. There's a lot of speculation that they are working out wearing Alabama wearing red jerseys and Tennessee wearing the orange jerseys. Both home jerseys just like it used to be. Now, SEC Network posted 15 minutes ago, and this might just be because they might not know, but this might just be whatever. They posted a picture of Hendon Hooker wearing the orange jersey on one side and then Will Anderson wearing the red jersey on the left side. SEC Network might not know. That might just be for their promo, but I'm just saying that would be something to look out for. If Alabama announces their uniforms today, or they just don't announce, that it wouldn't shock me if tomorrow they walked out in their red jerseys. That would be awesome to see.
Yeah, that would fire up everybody. I think that would fire up both sides. Tennessee fans, Alabama fans. Let's get this rivalry back to where it's supposed to be.
I'm already fired up that they're going to orange out. I mean, that was a big surprise to me this morning. I was like, let's go.
Yep, Scott Bennett put it in the chat right as you said it. Going to be awesome. Look, most home games are orange for the most part, but you still got a lot of people that are going to wear white, or they're going to wear black, smoky gray, something like that. So yeah, it's good. It's going to look awesome. Everybody in orange, orange out, old school. Let's go red versus orange. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys for joining us. Great show this morning. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Xavier. But that is going to wrap it up. Go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That shirt's going to be gone on Saturday after the postgame show. Get the Vols by 50, whatever you want. Get yourself a coffee mug. You can put a little coffee in it, or you can put a little whiskey in it, whatever floats your boat. But that's going to do it. For Xavier, for Gabe, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.